Hey guys, welcome to our Keynotes. Until now, in the JDBC concepts playlist, we have seen 4 videos. The first video is about statement interface. We have used execute query method and select query. And the second video is about prepared statement, and I have used execute update method and insert query for the demo. And then the third type of statement is callable statement. We have used the 3 parameters, that is in, out, in, out, using stored procedure. I have shown you how to create stored procedures, and I have used execute method for the same. So if you haven't watched these videos yet, do please check these videos and then try the examples. Then the fourth video is about how to download MySQL connector and how to add the jar file into your JDBC application. To be precise, in how to add into the library folder we have seen. Okay, so this is the summary of the 3 statements we have seen. All the 3 statements are interfaces, and the statement interface provides those 4 methods to execute your SQL queries. The 4 methods are execute method, execute update method, execute query method, and then the last one is execute batch method. So we will see execute batch method in the upcoming videos. Now, the prepared statement is comparatively faster than statement. It provides, you can execute prepared statement multiple times, and you can accept dynamic input, and it can store the binary data. And also this callable statement is faster than above 2 statements because it uses stored procedure. Stored procedures are pre-compiled and cached, and also it can accept dynamic input, and it can store the binary data. So by default, this prepared statement and callable statement extends this statement interface. All right, so this is the total summary of the 3 statements. Now let's get into the today's topic, that is transaction management. Basically, we call transaction as a single unit of work, which means at a time you're going to execute one particular query, and then it'll be considered as transaction one. So it can be either successful or it can be, a failed transaction. If it is failed, then we will inspect that why the failure has occurred, and then we will try to fix it out. Fine. So here, every database should possess these properties. That is asset properties, we call it as atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. So if a database satisfies these properties, which means that that is we call it as it's a good, reliable database. Fine. We have discussed this explanations in the classroom, so that I'm not going deeper into this. All right. Now, I want to show you a demo on this transaction management using these 3 methods. That is SetAutoCommit, commit, and then RollBack. So these 3 methods are provided by this connection interface. Remember that this connection interface is the second step, which we have discussed in the JDBC connection. There are 5 steps, we know that. The first step is registering the driver. The second step is getting the connection using connection interface. The third step is to create a statement. The fourth step is to execute that using any one of the method we have seen. And then the last step is to close the connection. Fine. So by default, this is most important. By default, this autocommit will be enabled as true. Okay, so it is a Boolean data type, and we can set it as false. So whenever we execute batch queries, we need to set it as false. And wherever required, you can set it as false, and then you can do insert, update, delete. And finally, you can say commit. Whenever you say commit, the records will get stored, means the changes will get saved in your table. Then there is an option to cancel the transaction, that is rollback. Whenever you say rollback, and the transactions will get cancelled. It is similar to that controls that we do to undo a particular task, right? So now let's dive into the demo. So before that, we need to create the table and database first of all. So let me start both the services, it is Apache server and MySQL database. I don't have changes in my port number, so I'm just clicking on the admin button of MySQL, and I got this. So now let's create a database, new database. So I'm clicking here, new, and then the database name is, let me say, statements. All right, and then I'm saying create. Database is created. You can see that here, and my table name is student, and I'm going to have 3 columns and create. The first column is enroll, and the second column is name, and then the third one is city. So let's leave this enrollment number as int, and then we'll change name as variable character, city as variable character, and then I'll keep this length as 3030 as of now. And then just click on the save button. So your records means your table will get saved. And you can see that this is the structure of the table. Now click on this student table name. Now you can see that 3 columns. Now to insert a record, you have to go to this SQL tab, and then you can use this insert button. So let me insert the enrollment number as 1 and the name as RK. And then I'm going to have the city as Rajkot. Fine. And then I'm saying go, and it is successful now. So let's open the table again, and there is one record. Fine. Now let's dive back to the NetBeans. And now you can see this is for transaction. We are discussing about transactions. All right. Now you can see that in this whole unit, we're going to use this package, most important package, import java.sql.star, and I'm going to use IO. I'll be using buffer reader, and then I'm using util.star for scanner. And then class name, there is a main method, and try catch block is there. Inside try block, I'm just saying that I'm using MySQL JDBC driver. So this is registering the driver, the first step. The second step is connection interface, where you have to pass your database name and your username and then the password. Fine. So here comes the first method, which we have to explore. SetAutoCommit is false. By default, it will be true in your database. Whenever you execute a particular statement, that will get committed automatically. But now I'm making it as false, because whenever I say commit, it should save the record. Or if I say rollback, it should, cancel that particular record. Fine. So what I'm doing is I'm using prepared statement, and I'm using insert SQL query, and then I have 3 placeholders. I'm using buffer reader, and the way reference name is br. Just I want to store the user input, means like I'll show you in the upcoming code where I'm using it. So here while loop, and I'm saying true, which means it is going to keep on asking. It is going for infinite times. So I have created scanner object here, and I'm having 3 variables. I'm accepting 3 input from the user, that is enrollment number, name, and city, and then I'm storing in these variables. All right. Now I want to pass in these inputs to this placeholders, right? So how to pass that one? Using this prepared statement dot set method. So if it is integer, say set int, or if it is string, set string. So for the first position, for this placeholder, I need to pass the variable name. That means the S1 over here. I have accepted an enrollment number in this variable only. So I'm passing that variable. So similar to that, name, and then the third variable is passed to the third position. Now, as we have used prepared statement, and if this is insert SQL statement, so I'm using execute update method. This should be more clear. Then I'm just displaying commit or rollback, and then I'm accepting the user input. So I'm storing it in this variable, that is answer. If that answer dot equals, if the user say commit, means if the user types commit, then I'm saying commit method. Then my record will get inserted into the table. Getting it? So, and then I'm just printing the record is inserted successfully. If not, if my answer is rollback, whatever I have accepted here as an input, and that should get cancelled, means rolled back, right? How it is going to happen? Using this rollback method. Just we are using 3 methods on this. One is set auto commit false, and then I'm saying commit and rollback. And obviously we are using one more method for executing the query. Fine. So here I'm going to display your record is not saved or not inserted. Then I'm just asking whether you want to continue to insert more records or what. Now here comes, I'm passing this buffer reader into this to save this yes or no. If it is no, and then I'm just going to break, and then finally I'm going to save all the records. I mean all the changes happened in this, and then I'm closing the connection, and then catching if there is any exception. That's it. So now I just have to run this. Now let me run this file for you. It is asking for the enrollment number. Let me say the enrollment number is 22, and then the name is Arab, and the city is Chennai. And if I say this, now you want to commit or roll back. Let me say commit. If I say commit, and the record got saved. Now the program is still asking for my input. Let me just go back to the table, and then this is the table we have created, right? Student, and you can see student and statements database is open now. Let me refresh here or here, whichever, and we got the record here. All right. Now let's go back and let's continue. I want to insert one more record. Yes, I'm saying, and then let me say the enrollment number is 33 now, and the uh, name is, let's say, something like this, and then the city is mm, like this. And now you want to save, means you want to commit or roll back. Let me say roll back. So now the rollback method will be called and the record will not be inserted. You can see that record not inserted, and still I can continue if I wish. Now let me just refresh, and you can see that there is the third record is not inserted here, right? And then now if I want to say no, and the program execution is completely done. And this is how we can perform. And again, if I refresh here in the table, and then that the third record got not inserted because we have rolled it back. Fine, means we have cancelled the transaction. So this is the demo for transactions using SetAutoCommit and commit and rollback methods. Hope this is clear for you. If you have any queries, let me know in the comment section, or just like the video. Hit the like button if you like the video. Thanks, and thanks for watching the video.